Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie podcast.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the Radical Wasteland podcast. Greg the Ghoul here with my human companions, Harris and Sarah. We are here. We are back in the Wasteland, and boy, oh boy, episode 1 of season 2 of Fallout just dropped on Amazon Prime. And y'all, we are eating good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah. So who here in the chat joined us for our live watch along on Tuesday? You know, them being sneaky folks who dropped the episode a whole 24 hours early, 30 hours early, something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of wish they were sticking to that release schedule, if I'm being honest. I know it's not best for our UK friends, but 6 p.m. is nicer than midnight a lot of the times.
Oh no, midnight's just when I'm getting started, man. I'd be all about that still. So I don't know. I'm excited going forward, but yeah, thank you all for joining us. You can go back and actually watch the stream watch along stream of me and Harris the other day watching the season premiere. That was a hell of a lot of fun, Harris. I'm looking forward to doing 7 more of these for this season. Although we either have to upgrade my my Prime Video account, or we got to get in the same room and do this. Because the commercial breaks were killing me.
They were crazy. Yeah, we got to figure that one out too. Yeah. Just for the sake of keep it. It was kind of fun to have a little bit of a stagger, because I was like, okay, I know where Greg is now.
Yeah.
But also, it's better just to experience.
Well, no, what was killing me was trying to watch the episode on one hand, but then also seeing you go at stuff 5 minutes later in the episode than I was. It was like, towards the end, I was really getting frustrated. So
when Vault Tech, I did that when we saw the Vault Tech building, and especially when Norm unfroze the entire vault.
Oh yeah, spoilers for episode 1 for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, obviously. But yeah,
yep, we'll give you that spoilers ticker down there just to make sure you're good. Here.
Yep. Sarah, what do you think, being our non-video game
I actually just watched the whole thing this morning, so very fresh in my mind.
But, right?
Yeah. I loved it. It's like my first thought was okay, darker.
Very much so.
Not that the first season wasn't, but this was way, with head explosions and stuff. I'm like, okay.
I know, it looked like something out of scanners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things. I mean, but very good setup. I like, when Hank goes into, what was it, the Vault Tech building you were talking about? And there's all those bodies sitting there, and he's just like, that's crazy. Anyway, the opening, with the bar scene and is it House? That's House, right? In the beginning with the $30 million in the trunk or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, I was going to ask you about that one. From Greg and I's point of view, and a lot of people just watching this show that have played the games and stuff, we are actively confused and intrigued by that plot line and that thread. What are your inklings, I guess?
What did I think of it? I just
what do you think, I guess, that'll lead? Does having a Mr. House that's separate than the one that we're seeing right now last season throw you off a little, or do you think it's just like a body double or anything like that? One of these prevailing theories, maybe.
I don't know. I don't really remember his house from the first season that much.
He was
on the screen, right?
He was one of the shadowy guys in the board meeting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the mustache dude in the board meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, real quick.
Just trying to. No, I'm off track. Well, I just took him as okay, this is some evil, connected to Vault Tech dude that's willing to do any kind of experiments and doesn't worry about killing people or hurting people. It doesn't bother him at all. He just wants to do what's best, or what, I don't know I don't know exactly what it was, his motivations to make a lot of money or be in control, or
yes,
we'll see how that plays out. I guess we'll see how that plays out. But
he's they based the character on Howard Hughes, and Howard Hughes actually was known for using body doubles, so for public appearances and stuff like that. So that is not surprising to see that. I think that's actually a pretty effective way to use that. And to my knowledge, in interviews, the body double theory is what's been actually confirmed. But hey, it could be a swerve. You never know.
That's what it's feeling like. Yeah.
And I think that it's really funny watching this today, or watching this the other day. I was like, oh, this has, unintentional, but very, very eerie. Well, probably intentional, but very eerie parallels to Elon Musk. I just totally had that feeling, especially with the with the biohacking and the implants and stuff like that, because that is one of his many companies is doing brain implants. So literally, but also mind control technology is not a surprise or a new element to the Wasteland either. I mean, we've seen it in Fallout 4 with the family, the
Cabot family.
Yeah, the Cabot house. We've seen brain implants and stuff like that. Now, granted, I think that mind control technology was something that was more. Well, no, I think that was technological. Yeah. I'm trying to remember where the mysticism began and the technology ended. But I think that, we've seen that there was a gun in Fallout 3 that would allow you that if you hit somebody with it, it hypnotized them and they would fight by your side. And sometimes their brains would overload and their heads would explode. So, we've seen that. That's not unprecedented. This could be an interpretation of that.
I think the closest thing we've probably seen to it before is in New Vegas with the Caesar Legion slave collars. They popped heads.
Oh yeah, totally with that as well. I mean, I think this is an unintentional slave collar, not that's a bug, not necessarily a feature. But I think that they're totally fine with what's a little mess, right? But also somebody pointed this out to me when I was going over. Because I was watching the breakdown videos of this on Screen Crush and a couple of other channels. The mind control collars, you saw a whole bunch of German Shepherds equipped with mind control collars in season 1, episode 2, when they visited the Enclave. That's Enclave tech.
Yeah, all those little chips. All the what they name all the dogs? It's CRX, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think that this might tie into that as well. So, it's not unprecedented to have mind control tech involved in the show. But I think that this is going to be, especially with the fact that they put it to such prominent use so early on. I think that this is going to be part of the bugaboo of the season bugaboo. And I don't think that it's out of I don't think it's out of the range of possibility, the realm of possibility, to say that at one point we're going to see Norm, the Ghoul, Lucy, somebody stuck with one of these things, and it's going to be a big dramatic moment. And maybe that's when they finally figure out how to disable it. I'm just putting my money on that now. This is a Chekhov's gun, is what this is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think something like that has to happen. And honestly, just because it is New Vegas, it did immediately bring those Caesar Legion slave collars to mind whenever the head popping started happening.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling Mr. House might side with the Legion this go round.
You think so?
Not necessarily side with, but use them as a means to an end to try to dwindle other forces around. Possibly.
Well, he has conquered other tribes in the area and turned them into the 3 families of the Strip. So that makes sense that he would, the Legion would definitely be the largest of any of these that he's done this for. But that would be interesting to see if
he did it with a tribe of cannibals last time.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the highest moral system here. He's
not at all.
Gray.
No, he's about having unchecked power on himself.
Right.
Do
we think that Hank is like the Vault Tech wants these chips to implant them in humanity so they can control everything?
I think so. Be able to make have a docile workforce under middle management that's serving some shadowy executive. Absolutely. I think totally. Although I'm going to put some money on this. I don't think Hank was calling House at the end of the episode. I think he was calling somebody else. I'm willing to bet it was either the Enclave or, not out of the realm of possibility, he might have been talking to Chinese operatives. Based on, what we saw in Vault 24, that was their experiment was turning people communist. I don't know. I don't think it was House he was talking to. I think it was either the Enclave or some other shadowy force that I think he's a servant of two masters.
Oh, he's definitely a servant of two masters. That last one's TBD, of course, but it is seeming like there's a minimal amount of options it could be. Oh, okay.
So just put it in horizontal, dude. Just turn your phone 90 degrees.
It takes one click. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Live.
Yeah. Otherwise, fuck off. Anyhow, let's get back to the important stuff. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was an incredibly strong opener. I thought it was an incredibly strong opener. I think it set a lot of tone. I think character-wise, first off, you notice that the Ghoul seems to have like softer edges to him this season on the makeup. It seems like he's almost more human.
Is that going to get him killed? Not killed this season, but
Probably.
Is that going to
I think it's part of his evolution is finding his humanity again, because he's been without it for so long. He's been a creature of the wasteland for so long that Lucy's influence is softening him a little bit, possibly. I think that we're at least seeing it in the storytelling by his appearance to start with.
Because the thing that's keeping me from just going like, oh yeah, by the end of the season, he's just going to be the good guy with Lucy now, is kind of, hey, we know they're shooting for 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the Ghoul just being a straight up good guy for 3 or 4 of them.
No. I think here's the thing. I think I think we could actually possibly see glimmers of redemption, and then we find out something horrible happened to his family.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
That seems more in line with the tone of the show.
Because the thing is that while there is a lot of dark comedy in the show, this is a horror show. This is a sci-fi horror show. And in horror, the rules are the worst case scenario always happens without remorse, and it's left with people. I mean, like you do have to follow the rules of horror here, and it's always the worst case scenario. So I think that we have like a glimmer of possible redemption or something, or possible humanity, and I think it's snuffed out when we find out that his wife is like the big bad, his daughter's dead, something like we're gonna find something that is just utterly shattering, and then it's gonna be. Then it just motivates him to swing so hard back the other way. It takes the rest of the seasons to get back to where he was.
Yeah.
In the meantime, did anybody else feel like Lucy had some character regression in the season premiere? Because I felt like she had gotten a little bit more savvy to the survival rules of the Wasteland at the end of season 1, and now suddenly being like, "Hey guys, can we talk this out?"
Right. I think she maybe doesn't want to lose that, so she's kind of going back to it because she wants to hang on to that. She doesn't want to lose her goodness, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a definite loss, a definite and probably more irrevocable loss of innocence by the end of the season, and I think it's going to have everything to do with Daddy.
Yeah. I, as much as it was like in character for Lucy, and it was fun for her to be, well, let's do option C if possible, guys. It is regression in the sense of by the end of season 1, she knew damn well no one's going to opt in for option C.
Peace was never an option. Yeah.
No, war never changes. Even in the smaller like personal battles, like that kind of stuff. It was a little bit of a character regression. It was a fun, cutesy moment to kind of get the whole thing going. But hey, she made the plan with the Ghoul to shoot the barbed wire down in the first place. She had her mind going in the right place at first, and then was like, "Oh, let me try." And after season 1, I don't think that'd be the case. After seeing Daddy do the things he did, I don't think
that's a possibility. No, I really don't. Yeah. So I don't know. I did feel like it was a little bit of regression, but it was very refreshing to have that innocence. And Brad healing was very, very cool to witness. I agree with that. That was a very, very nice touch. Real quick, I do want to mention this. So back years before, about a decade ago in my previous life, when I actually still worked in corporate America, one of my jobs was working for a company called Gentle Giant. All right. And they employed a whole bunch of artists and artisans to do 3D scanning and renderings of people, objects, locations for 3D for basically for CGI and film and TV. And they took some of that, and they also had a practical effects shop. And then they took all of that 3D data and used 3D printers to do product development for toys and statues and stuff. And I worked on the toy version, the toy branch of the company, which was interesting. Interesting life. Very glad I'm not in there anymore. No fault to the company. I was just not happy working in the corporate setting. But one of the guys that I worked with, this guy, Mikey, posted on his Facebook the other day, oh my God, they used the barbed wire rope that I made. They finally used the barbed wire rope that I made. And then he also was on the paint team for the Wakakami game. So I was like, he had all these BTS photos of him working on this shit. And I was just like, of course they had him, because he's an excellent painter and excellent fabricator. But I got a real kick out of that. So I'll have to see if we can get him on the pod one day.
I cackled whenever the Wakakami popped on the screen. I was like,
yeah, that totally fits. It totally fits.
It's so Fallout. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be really fun to have him come on the podcast.
Let me see if I can get him in to join us one day. I think that'd be a great time. So, oh boy, what else? What else struck you guys about this premiere? Like, what jumped out?
This I might just put back out there one more time, because there's so much just with House already that just what is going on here. So in the game, Sarah, you can totally keep House alive, but about 80% of your options involve Mr. House as quickly as possible. Not necessarily as quickly as possible. Use him as a means to an end, same way he's using you as a means to an end for a bit, till one of the other factions you side with is like, no, get him, take him out. And that ends up happening. Do we think, because he has he's put himself in a cryopod for however long, I guess it is, when New Vegas actually begins from when the war began, roughly 2 years. Right. That body usually gets kind of whacked in the middle of the game or part of the game, Yeah.
Right.
That being said, it probably happened in whatever kind of whatever faction won the original game, and whatever we're dealing with the fallout from now.
Hey-o.
It's most likely that he died. It's most likely he's dead. That body, at least. Do we think he had that many because they have made sure that this Robert House has contingency on contingency on contingency, which we already know that, but they've already driven that point home and doubled it down a little bit more. Do y'all think that the body double in the original New Vegas game was also, or do you think the body in the original New Vegas game was a body double as well, and he has a second cryopod somewhere that he's keeping himself up with?
That would actually clock. I mean, that would be a great way to work around the 80% of endings where you kill House. That would be a great way to work around that. I think that would be smart. I think that would be the smart way to do it. Either that or reveal that he's gone, just like who's the computer consciousness in Captain America: Civil War,
Arnim Zola.
Yeah, Zola. He could have gone full singularity and uploaded his consciousness into a mainframe. I think that might be more accurate. But
he totally kind of already had, because he was using a mainframe like that, Sarah, like what Greg just mentioned, to talk to you as the player from the cryopod. So
right,
Greg, that he probably just uploaded the consciousness generally to the computer.
It seems like the trailer for the next episode, they showed that computer like a wall.
I can't wait for
if that's what it is. But So I like the flashback to the ghouls earlier life too, where he finds out his wife's evil and he wants to run away with his daughter, and that was kind of interesting.
And that was such a great scene where he's there making a drink and she comes home, and you could tell that he knows, and then you see that she knows he knows, and it's just like, oh boy, this is some real spy versus spy action here happening,
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna be intense and sad and all at once. The one thing that I'm still confused about from quite literally the opening shots of season 1, he's looking for his daughter still.
Yeah.
Why? How? She wasn't in a vault, or supposedly, or it didn't look like she was anywhere near a vault by the time they got going. We watched her and Coop run in the wild, or run on the back of a horse in the wild to get out of the bomb kind of territory. Obviously didn't work too well for old Coop.
No.
He's a ghoul now. The ghoul, if anything. Does that mean it's more likely for his daughter to have also been ghoulified with him above ground, and she is wandering the wasteland herself? Or
I think it's very easy for them to get separated, and I think we're probably going to see some big dramatic scene in Los Angeles where she gets ripped away from him and lost. Yeah.
Well, because the other thought, which is I think the prevalent theory, is she somehow gets in the vault with her mom.
Oh,
I don't see that.
Because he seems to always put his wife and daughter together like they were together. You get that impression.
That's true.
So...
And he every time he says anything about it, he says my wife and daughter in the same sentence. Like he that is his like prime directive kind of deal. Does that mean that they did get together before? Like, hey, if you're not going to take me in the vault, at least take her kind of deal. If we got to the front door or something like that. Well, wouldn't Coop have still run to a vault once the bombs were actually dropping?
Oh man, if he was in a vault for a little while and then, or got invited into one of the good vaults for a while and then got thrown out.
Oh.
And the other thing is that he's looking for his wife and daughter. But what if it's a betrayal? What if his wife betrayed him and he's looking to, get a little
That would be a good twist, because Lucy keeps accusing him of having hope or whatever in this episode. Like that's but he never really clearly says that, that's what I'm doing. He's just looking for them.
I haven't heard anybody say it yet, but just this conversation's making me think. If Coop was in a vault, I mean, as long as, like Stanley's just brought up, if they divorce, would Coop be off the list of vault dwellers? Probably, honestly, if he was stirring the pot like he was. But if they're doing those kind of raid sirens like that, and there's only so much time before the actual bombs go off that we see happen,
it
seems like he has some kind of fallen out, of course, to be working as a hand for hire at birthday parties.
Yeah.
But does that completely take him off the list? He did a lot of work for them. His wife's still there. Maybe they're not 100% divorced and they're in the process of separation or something.
Right. So their daughter has a dad around, kind of thing.
If Coop did go in the vault, what's the likelihood of it being 31 or 32 in Los Angeles? If his wife is probably prone to be put in 33 to be thawed whenever she needs to be.
Or 30, she'd be in 31. He'd probably be in 32.
Oh yeah, my bad. 31, 33. I was.
But but he did say that they were headed to Bakersfield.
That's true too.
And that's Vault 13. That's the water. Oh, and also parallels with the water chip. The water chip that they're talking about. How we have our water chip failing, and that's literally the plot of the original Fallout. Having to send somebody out there. And anybody else, like, I appreciate the comic relief of this episode and how sick and twisted it was and how it kept with the Fallout theming. But, the idea of getting the rules against incest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a really, really well played scene with some difficult material. So props to the performers on that one. They really did a great job with it.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm very intrigued about that I might throw a question towards y'all for is, did the new plot threads move the needle for you? I honestly thought the new ones with like following Reg, is her name? What is Chet's new girlfriend, blonde lady with the eye patch that was from Vault 31's now the leader 32? Yeah. Is it Barb?
Yeah. No, Barb is
Coop's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name, but
yeah,
her and Chet scene, while funny,
yeah,
really good. Reg's couple scenes with his little focus group and the couple times he's walking around, are funny, but also really good scenes. There's some of the better scenes in the whole episode, I thought. They're just not the plot lines I guess I was expecting to jump in on. You know, you're thinking Norm, Hank, Lucy, Ghoul. We don't need much more than that. And Maximus, you know.
You need to have some comic relief, though. You need you need comic relief. And
Norm and the rest of the Vault was used as that kind of last season. I'm really intrigued to see if they revert back to that or if they leave these other plot threads open with Reg, with Chet and Blofeld. I don't know what to call her. She's just got the iPad.
That's Stephanie.
That's what you should call her. Definitely Blofeld.
Stephanie. Yeah, I just looked it up. Stephanie. So
I like Blofeld.
Yeah, Blofeld totally works though. Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep calling her Blofeld now. Are those threads moving the needle for you? And do you think they're fun additions, or do you think it might convolute the story a little bit and bog it down?
You need to kind of check in with what's going on with those characters, I guess. I don't know if it's integral to the story, but I mean, at some point, maybe it will be. So they're just going to kind of keep it in the loop.
Yeah, Norm's not with them anymore. So I guess they do need avenues to explore.
Yeah, I think it's important to show Vault life. I think it's also a very, what's the best way to put this? I think it's important to show Vault life as a contrast to everything else on the surface. I thought that what they were doing with Davy was incredibly important because you got to remember the whole point of having this Vault is to show how humanity. This is the group of humanity that is supposed to take over the surface and rule. And you know they can't even handle. Davy can't even handle the idea of being in a reverse layout. And this is, you know, having a support group for products of inbreeding and things like. I think it really shows that these guys are delusional, and that they are not fit at all for the actual struggles of the Wasteland. And how it also highlights how Reg is a little bit of a rebel. And we've always seen that he's a bit of a rebel, you know, and like going against the grain. You know, video games, the family dinner and stuff like that. He's always tried to stand off on his own, but also how exceptional Lucy is, you know, and they established that in the pilot when, you know, she's kicking ass at the martial arts and the marksmanship and everything and totally like humble bragging about it, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good, you know, and she's acing everything. You know, how it takes somebody with that level of skill and savvy to survive in the Wasteland when you have this sunny disposition, thinking that everything's going to be okay because Vault-Tec said so. You know, exactly. So I think, the idea, I think we're going to see that Buds is going to be more of the same, and that everybody else in these vaults are completely ill-equipped to deal with the realities of surviving in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, you know? Yeah. So I think it's incredibly important that they show that, because you got to remember these guys are supposed to be the heirs of humanity and society. Yeah.
Now we just woke up all the managers.
And now all the managers have woken up, and God only knows what's going to happen there. You know?
The fact that things are failing and they need to go up, releasing all of them at the same time, it's a cause for something.
Yeah.
It seems at first that it's a cause for celebration, because I know it seems like episode 2 is going to be our dancing in the vault kind of scene that we saw in the trailer. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see that. I'm very much in the mood for some musical theater after a very die-hard Christmas, which was great. Y'all should watch it on live stream if y'all can. Just saying. But yeah, one thing that I am intrigued about with them thawing out so many of the 31 vault dwellers is it already seems like I don't if there's a continuity error in anything, it's the fact that there's so many damn people in these vaults after they were all slaughtered in the first episode of season 1. There's still so many people left that it seemed like there were about 15 in the first season in episode 1 after Moldaver kind of rocked through everybody. It seemed like she slaughtered just about everybody, and then 32.
Well, there were a lot of guys in disguise though, so half those bodies that were dropping were Raiders or NCR.
Yeah,
that's true too. It's just it didn't seem like there were that many, and it looked like they did a good job of slaughtering the house for the most part. Because just everybody on their knees. It seemed like everybody on their knees being held at gunpoint before Moldaver does that bomb on the way out.
Yeah, true.
Were the people left, and it was only about 15 people, and now they have enough people to fully populate both vaults. I was kind of confused about that by the end of season 1 too, but now we're here.
Yeah.
And it is intriguing just the fact that there are this amount of people left. There is this amount of people left, and they are now jumping into, okay, we're thawing people out. Everybody might be excited for a few minutes, but if that water chip was already on the way out, how much do we get them on the way out of the vault this next episode, or do we work our way into it over the season?
Well, I mean, besides Reg, the only jumpsuits that I saw in that clip with everybody coming out onto Santa Monica Pier were Vault 31. So I don't think 33 is leaving. I think they're going to send an envoy out, and they're going to have somebody looking for a water chip, or somebody might wind up going to 31 or 32 and finding out what Reg already knows. There might be more word getting out about the nature of the 3 vaults. And maybe that is how they find out that, oh shit, everybody from 31's out.
Do you think Norm is, now that he knows what he knows and he's thawed everybody out, and if it is just a bunch of Vault 31 people that get brought out of there, is he doing it on purpose? Is he leading them like lambs to the slaughter?
I don't think he knows what's out there either. I mean, you got to remember, he's coming from the same place of ignorance, but he saw his way out. He was presented with 2 rational options: get in the cryopod or die. And he chose the irrational option, which was, knock down the whole house of cards. So I don't think he knows what he's doing beyond that.
No.
Does that make...
He's angry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Does that make Norm just as dangerous in the eyes of House as, say, Ghoul or Lucy?
I don't think he's on House's radar at all. I think that he's probably going to be on Hank's radar really quick when they realize that Bud's buds have been activated way early, but then again, Bud may not have a backup plan, but Hank and company think on their feet pretty quick. I'm sure they'll find some way to use it. I'm also willing to bet that it might be the crew from 31 that shows up to work at Vault-Tec HQ in Vegas somehow.
Yeah.
And that might be how you get Norm to Vegas.
Okay. And how many vaults in total? Stanley said 122, I think, but I actually think it's supposed to be 1,000 or like a few hundred or something like that. That can't be a quick Google search.
Yeah, I'm Googling it right now.
But
Vault consisted of 122 vaults. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the TV series confirms over 100 and leaves it at that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anybody else surprised? Speaking of the vaults, first off, in incorporating Vault 24, which was originally supposed to be in New Vegas, but was cut for time. The only evidence that it still exists in the game is the jumpsuit that you can use the debugging system to activate in your game. I thought that was a great way to do something really new and different with the storyline without disrupting existing canon. I really appreciated the fact that they cleverly used cut content to expand the world. You know,
and it shows you how much they like are integrating like core elements of Fallout into it rather than just borrowing and kind of surface leveling it all. We obviously saw that in season 1, but it just feels like it's continuing where I really like, obviously, Jonah Nolan's awesome for anything and everything he does for the most part. I've really been enjoying seeing Geneva Doret Roberts. I don't remember her last name, but the other showrunner, she just is a fan of Fallout, and you can see she radiates just joy talking about Fallout, and I love that. You know, that's what you want out of a showrunner. But she specifically gives those little nitty gritty details like, oh yeah, well, this was a player option in the game, so we had to do that. And it's oozing that on screen, and I love it. It's super. I feel like the entire fan base is very appreciative of that. Rightfully so.
Yeah. Man, my God, so much to discuss. I appreciate that they're not explicitly using VATS, but you can totally see when it's being used.
Yes.
You know, I appreciate that they're not doing, green HUD and zoom in and, and doing all that. Like, I think that the way that they do it is quite effective, where they just do the slow bullet time and it really works. I think it's a great stylistic choice and it makes perfect sense. And it was a lot of fun to see them whoop some ass, even if Dinky the dinosaur was facing the wrong way into Novak. And also the other bummer was that it was the Great Khans getting completely blown away. So our boys, so yeah, I got to find my vest.
Where is it?
There you go. There you go. Got to represent.
Yeah. Somewhere on here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I appreciated that, and just the style that it was all handled with, and the fight choreography and the attention to detail there always just never fails to impress on this show. Big fan.
If anything, I do think the Novak scene. If I was disappointed about anything, it was the Novak stuff.
Really?
And it was I guess it was because it was out of character for where Lucy. It feels like Lucy was meeting us in the first half of season 1 rather than where she is now as a character.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
It was weird. Tell me how they turned the dinosaur around. They didn't. That's just a choice from the showrunners and the show makers. And that part does make me roll my eyes a little bit. You're not turning around a giant concrete thing in the middle of the apocalypse. They don't have the excavation equipment, and I didn't see a bunch of power armor suits around there to help push, I appreciate that they're willing to kill our babies at the same time, in that sense, in that term, where okay, we all love Novak, but okay, yeah, this is way later. It probably got taken over. That was a pretty prime spot to be taken over. Novak was a bigger town than just the one little small section we were in, and it felt a little bit more like a disservice to utilize it in the way it was utilized.
Yeah,
I would have been totally fine with the Khans taking everything over, or the Power Gangers, Viper Gang, anybody. But make it feel a little bit more lived in, rather than, oh yeah, we wanted to put this place in the trailer. Because it definitely felt like we wanted to put this place in the trailer kind of spot. Everything else,
we're in and out of it so quick,
It could have been anywhere. Do one of the cities that got burned down. Do Prim. Do somewhere that isn't as. Prim would have made more sense. In a lot of ways. It's already been taken over once. It doesn't have like a big populace.
Go to Buffalo Bills, Yeah, they can use it. Yeah.
But yeah, that if I had to harp on one thing, it would kind of be that opening scene like that. Although I did enjoy the hell out of it at the same time.
Yeah. No, I liked it, but I agree with you. I think, and also the Great Khans, they have such a deep storyline that I felt like them just being like another gang was kind of a disservice to them. That would have made sense if it was Powder Gang or it was a Viper Gang or somebody else, but for it to be the Cons, you know, like that's
even with the Cons, because I don't feel like either one of us are typically siding with Caesar's Legion and stuff.
No,
but we're also Con fans, which means we tend to find a way to reconcile them with the NCR to help out at Battle of Hoover Dam, so on and so forth.
Sure.
Or at least get out of there, which I feel like is the more rich story to be told anyway, rather than, oh yeah, the Cons are just another group of Kim making
Kim making post-apocalyptic biker wannabes. Yeah,
cool, like woohoo, just it feels like the richer story is them obviously having it's not the Battle of Bull Run. That's a Civil War. What's the Battle of
Hoover Dam?
Not Hoover Dam. Where
the one where Boone and Company. Yeah. Speaking of which, did you guys catch the Ghoul making a reference to Boone's wife?
Oh yeah. She said
girl
that was
that runs the store. What was her name? Darla? It's Carla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Darla, yeah.
Yeah, it's Carla, but yeah, I got a real kick out of that. It took me a minute. Bitter Springs. Thank you, Stanley.
The Battle of Bitter Springs.
Yeah,
it feels like a more rich story to try to mend, and it's not an easy task by any means, especially in the game because they do not like each other, the Great Cons and the NCR.
Yeah,
because of this event primarily, but it feels like the more rich story to supersede that and make
and to do the disservice of just making these guys Mook of the Week just to take them out, you know. So
yeah, you didn't feel they were important at all. I mean, just from somebody who doesn't know the factions and stuff, it was just okay. This is just another
these guys had they were kind of like part Trail of Tears, part I don't know, Vietnamese civilians, you know, had military abuses and war crimes. They had multiple war crimes perpetuated on them by the NCR for a variety of reasons, ultimately leading to a slaughter of women and children, which is why they're estranged from most other societies.
As the NCR is supposed to be like
the good guys, quote unquote. Yeah. They're the sympathetic faction, yet you find out that they do some really shady shit too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, what I like is that they deal with these factions in New Vegas in a very realistic fashion. Nobody has their hands clean, you know. Everybody does something, and you really have to pick your evil, you know.
Yeah. Survival.
What was it? That's the Stanley said, improvise to survive, or something like that earlier.
Yeah, improvise to survive. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, wasn't that from Bear Grylls or something? Or whatever it is.
It's an army slogan, but it also, I mean,
he'd say it a lot, I think.
Yeah, no, I grew up around Marines, and that was definitely that and Simplify. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, my husband was a Marine, so I know.
Okay, there you go.
I heard Simplify about 30 times last night in Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
How was it?
Great. I actually think it is the best of the three. The first act is very much, I think it kind of leans into, oh yeah, all the Avatar movies are the same thing done in, like again and again. It leans into it and it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna mess you up a little bit and do something different.
Was this their Empire Strikes Back?
Yes, actually. And I really appreciate it for that. Of course, not gonna spoil it or anything. By the end, it does kind of you see parallels again because how many big like battle type things can you do without summoning the strength of your allies and AWA itself and all that kind of stuff. So you do see some parallels, but the second and the vast majority of the third act are vastly different from the first two. And
all right.
It's interesting.
So it's not Fern Gully retreaded. Got it. All right.
Yeah. We may have enhanced the experience too, which was a lot of fun. And it made going to the world very interesting.
All right.
It made it to a whole new planet. I don't think you saw it earlier. I'm crazy. Can you tell there's a giant popcorn bucket that we got last night?
Oh, what is the pop? What is? Let's see the popcorn bucket. I'm blowing up my screen right now. Oh, there you. Oh my God.
We did not eat popcorn out of it. It needed to be pristine. But I want to fly now.
I mean, it started at Disneyland, and now popcorn bucket. I mean, popcorn buckets, I guess, are how these theaters are staying in business these days.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him. He killed his. All right, Sarah, quick, let's take over the channel. Let's lock him out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, good afternoon, Shadow. Shadow, we had adventures. Yeah, what canon ending do you think they chose? I want to hear theories on who based on any new information that we have now on who you think won.
I definitely didn't step on my power strip at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, never.
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah, no, I've never kicked out a power strip in the middle of a stream. No.
And now the lights are all funky.
We'll give you a second to recalibrate here.
Think we're good. Hopefully, it's a little flushing out. But hey, honestly, House won but barely. Shadow's saying.
I mean, maybe. I feel like that. I'm kind of the mind that whatever victory was won at the Second Battle of Hoover Dam was a temporary or Pyrrhic victory, and eventually other events conspired to render whatever happened there merely a footnote in history. That's what I'm willing to bet.
I feel like that's a fairly reasonable bet. That's a fairly Fallout approach, I'd say.
Yeah. So I guess my question now is, now that we see Cooper in as pulling 007 level stuff here in the past, I think that obviously this storyline is going to be what splits up his family, and puts the split between him and Barb, because obviously he's not successful.
No.
Or is he? I think that he might take out a Robert House, but not the Robert House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You might need to see some sunlight there, bud.
It's blinding.
Yeah.
I was just trying to do my best Daniel Jackson and just ascend real quick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was working on it. I do. Does Coop meet? I guess we see him in the trailer meeting the actual Robert House and not a body double.
Yeah, that's true. And did we establish if it was past Cooper or if it was the Ghoul?
Do you think that maybe he meets and talks to Robert House, and Robert or House just in general kind of gives him the layout and what Vault-Tech's doing? Do you think he's almost double crossing Vault-Tech, and Cooper tries to use him as a means to an end for a bit, to no avail, seemingly?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to me, unless I mean, what does he have to offer Cooper? Safety for his daughter? Using his family against him.
It
could be really interesting to see if Cooper plays a much larger role in how things play out with the bombs dropping, than we first thought. He might not be.
Yeah.
When do we think House put himself in cryopods like that? Immediately? Or were there a few years in between? I mean, I could see them almost having a deal talking about things prior to the bombs dropping, then them dropping. Ghoulified Coop going to New Vegas at the time, Vegas, I guess at the time, whatever it would have actually been called. And if his daughter was still with him, hey, I don't know what's going on with either one of us. We're sick with radiation poisoning. Something's happening to us. We're changing. Can you help my daughter? And kind of utilizing that as putting Coop on a leash for a bit.
Yeah, I mean his weak spot's his family. So, yeah, and I'm betting that maybe House somehow takes his daughter. That would be quite the motivator. Good question. Add references from the DLC. Possibly.
Change.
I mean, they used cut content from New Vegas, from the original game. So I suppose that there really isn't much off limits. So who knows? That's a tough call. That's an interesting call.
I don't think there's a way they don't use it, just from how big of a fan each creator seems to be. You know.
Yeah.
And by all definitions, they are canon. So, Todd Howard and the rest of Bethesda would be keeping them on those kind of plot lines at least. Did you see? I think it was. I might be crazy. It might have been an IGN article. Maybe I'm just sleep deprived and I'm seeing things. Hopefully that's not the case, but fingers crossed it's not. Did you see that? I hope it's an official article that Todd Howard said that Nate will make it to the Fallout show at some point. Your Fallout 4 protagonist.
Really? Well, they mentioned the Commonwealth in the trailer, the internal season 2 trailer that dropped at the end of the episode. They do mention the Commonwealth by name about how the Commonwealth's going to kill us all with the Brotherhood of Steel plotline.
Yeah.
And then we have Kumail Nanjiani's character, Paladin Xander Harkness, showing up. You get his name if you watch the show with subtitles on. So,
yes.
Yeah. And we did see the drive-in theater. We did see the Starlight Drive-in. That's true. Yeah, man. I think it'd be fascinating. I'm also interested to see if they actually run into the Courier at all. But that would require them canonifying what the Courier looks like.
I mean, the simple way to do that would just be a courier rather than the courier.
Yeah, leave it ambiguous and leave it up to the audience to decide if that's the courier or not. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Popcorn Power. You're chilling in on a Fallout podcast. It's a pretty safe bet that we all like the show.
Yeah.
Just FYI, yeah. we are big fans and we really enjoy it. Yes. So, but good question. Yeah. Good to clarify, because there are a lot of rage bait podcasts out there that thrive on hating shit, and we're not one of them. So,
right.
Yeah.
We like to jam out and enjoy some old 1950s music brought into the 20.
Oh my God! Did anybody else pop big when Big Iron started playing? Like, that is like the iconic song from the game. So for them to actually use it as a needle drop in the show was just perfect. So yeah,
it was Chef's kiss. It was so good.
Yeah, it was the timing was outstanding. It was so good. It was so good.
Well, yeah, one super important question for you, real quick.
Okay.
Were you tempted to try Flea Soup?
Oh God, no. But I've already seen recipes for it popping up on TikTok because, of course.
I can't wait for the Binging with Babish episode of Flea Soup.
Yeah.
It will be great.
Absolutely. So appetizing, but I left my crackers in my other pants. Sorry.
That was a great. I love just the little small lines.
I also like how they really kind of like redefined family. It's like, oh, the son of a bitch owes me money. So like, yeah.
One thing that I commented about while we were watching it, that it doesn't take me out of it, but it's making me question things. Is you don't see a lot of old people in the games.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. You definitely see a few.
Yeah.
But the show seems to be populated with an older crowd rather than a younger crowd a lot of the times in the Wasteland on top of the Earth.
They may not necessarily be older, but it could just be that they could be like, okay. Remember how what
Alec
people
Guinness is supposed to be
like in the 80s when they were 30 and they look like they're 50 now, like what today's 50 would look like. I feel like it kind of goes with that theory where these people are probably a lot younger than they look, but the living is real hard.
Yeah.
Just like Alec Guinness
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Alec Guinness is supposed to be Ewan McGregor. Those 10 years happened very quickly, apparently. So yeah, maybe it is just that extreme weather.
Yeah, extremely weathered. I 100% agree. It's hard living, So wrinkled, leathery skin, and malnutrition and everything else. That said, it is still an achievement to live beyond your physical prime in an environment as hostile as the Wasteland. So, yeah.
The only environment that I can think of that's that hostile is because it's a recency bias. Is probably freaking Pandora from Avatar. Like you got your apocalypse or a jungle that's going to eat you alive one way or another. The world's going to eat you alive in one of those places.
Yep.
And, the Mojave seems to really want to tear people apart at times.
Yeah.
If synths can make their way to the DC Capital Wasteland, they can make their way to New Vegas.
Oh, interesting.
Do we see that?
So maybe we find out that House is employing a bunch of synths.
What if it's not the Enclave, it's not House that Hank's talking to? It's an institute.
Oh boy. Well, that would actually set up, that would, now that the Commonwealth got name dropped, it would make sense. Now that the Commonwealth gets name dropped this season, it would make sense to start establishing ties to New England. That would be interesting. All right, so that means that we have three potential. Well, there are multiple groups. Okay, we're supposed to be led to believe that it's House that he's talking to at the end of the episode, but there's a couple of things that don't line up because it implies that that conversation implies that whoever he's talking to is no longer in New Vegas. Which makes me think it's not House. So we have three potential candidates here, and I feel like that, in terms of like likelihood and unlikelihood, I think it's more likely that we're dealing with possibly the Enclave.
Most likely.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, Jay is probably like eating dinner right now and then just randomly punching a wall because we're and doesn't understand why, because we're talking smack about him. So that's what that is. So yeah, possibly the Enclave, possibly the Institute. I feel like that actually could be a very interesting tie-in, and I feel like that there are other things that could support. Well, the main thing that supports it is the Brotherhood of Steel Civil War, and knowing that there's an Enclave like Science Institute. But then we would have two big bad guys, science-based big bad guys.
Is the Brotherhood of Steel really a science-based big bad guy? Or
no. I'm talking about the Enclave Institute. They feel like they're the same thing, just a different name.
Well, is Enclave truly science-based, or is it more that's just a part of their?
Well, I mean, it is the shadow U.S. government the remnants of the shadow U.S. government that was supposed to take over. So, maybe they are different, but when we see Wizig in season 1, he's working in a very institute-like environment that is run by the Enclave. So, it feels very one-to-one with them. They're kind of like from physical style and presence, they're almost indistinguishable. Although we do know the plotline differences between the Enclave and Father, there are two different things completely. But stylistically speaking, they're supposed to be analogous for your science-based bad guys. So having two of them go head to head, well, I don't know, could be interesting. But I'm also glad to see that in this season they're addressing. Speaking of one-to-one comparisons, they're addressing the differences in the Brotherhood of Steel and the different ideals and things like that. I mean, this has been talked about and debated since the different factions were all established. about
Fallout 3 makes it a pivotal part of the game too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to see all of that coming to a head. But yeah, I think we do realistically have, if they're bringing the Commonwealth into it, the Institute could be a really solid hypothetical number 3 to reach out to.
Do you think there's a possibility, because the Institute, most likely, if it's 80% likely that House got whacked by the end of whatever playthrough happened, it's probably 90% likely that the Institute got whacked in whatever playthrough Fallout 4 actually happens. Whatever the canonized.
Oh yeah, no, Father's probably dead. Yeah, Sean is probably dead.
That thought though, if the Brotherhood wasn't able to find their way down in there, and or whatever the case is, would you be shocked if the Institute and the Enclave almost teamed up and tied themselves in one another?
No,
they don't have dissimilar goals.
They don't have dissimilar goals. It wouldn't surprise me. It seems like that would be the natural 1-to-1.
And while one's weaker, hey, we're similar. Come fight with us anyway, or come join our faction anyway. We'll take care of you the same way.
Got, and we also don't know what state the Institute's left in at the end of or at this point in time. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Brotherhood and Steel and Enclave both versus the Institute. Interesting. I don't think the Institute's strong enough for that anymore. I feel like Wilzig almost feels like somebody from the Institute that the Enclave might have borrowed or gotten from after the Institute was destroyed or something.
Maybe.
Obviously, they very well may just have their own set of scientists doing their thing. Sure.
Yeah. I do hope we get more Mike Emerson this season, by the way. I mean, he's just too good to let go to waste.
He's so good.
It would obviously have to be flashbacks, or maybe he's a synth, but it would have to be flashbacks probably.
Mm-hmm.
Synth Wilzig would be interesting.
That would be.
Uh-huh.
But so that said, it also does feel like his arc is completely done, so he would have to be the part of something new.
Which I'm okay with. Put him in anything and everything. He's that good. Just keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Both the Brotherhood and Steel and Enclave would have personal reasons to go against the Institute.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't ever like siding with House. Sometimes it's an option. You got to try it every now and then, but
yeah, everybody just needs to dabble in fascism, right? So
yeah. Okay. Because we can drone on all day about this kind of stuff, and I know we're limited time-wise. Mm-hmm. Sarah, from the layman perspective of just not having played the games and such, where we're at now, obviously this next episode is going to be Brotherhood of Steel focused primarily from the looks of it.
Yeah.
But from episode 1, if you had to give a good, bad, and the ugly for it, because we love doing that little game every now and then.
Wow. I think the good was when Hank goes to the headquarters and they kind of show him going in there and turning everything on and getting in a nice suit. I don't know. I really liked that part.
I like that he gave himself a Pinboy 3000. I appreciated that.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, the gold one. Yeah, I noticed that was like an upgrade.
Gold-plated. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, fancy. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course, who is he really talking to? Is the question. Ugly. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe the opening scene was good. I don't want to say it's ugly. Except for, that Lucy making the aggression, but I can believe that maybe she's trying to hold on to her innocence in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there anything from that first episode that you're most excited for this, like plot thread wise?
What's going to happen with the chips? Like, what's the future plan for that? Because Hank sounded like he was going to kind of complete the research or whatever, and they had miniaturized it, and just how he casually walked down that room where there's just the headless bodies sitting at desks or whatever. It was just like, so I'm curious.
I did like the unanswered messages. That shit was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife was like, that looks just like my inbox. I'm like, oh God.
So I just what that storyline's going to go with. I mean, I guess we'll see. They're alluding to the Brotherhood of Steel is maybe going to be getting into a war here. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you have a good, bad, and ugly for the episode, Greg?
I think the good was definitely. I appreciated Vault 24. I like the concept that they took cut content or unfinished content that had been left out of the game and then used that to expand the world in a new and different and daring way that made me sit up and go, oh, what are they doing here? Because now I'm curious. I think that the bad, Lucy, I think is my bad. It does feel like a little bit of a regression. But I feel like that's going to get that's her arc this season is, we saw her get her, deal with her first exposure to the life in the Wasteland in season 1 and how potentially compromising that is. This is the struggle to retain her humanity is her arc in season 2. And I think we're going to see it finish where she does something probably kind of shockingly horrific by the season finale is my bet. Might even kill Hank, or something like that. But there's going to be something where she has the opportunity to take the shot and she does not hesitate.
It seems like her big inner dialogue is, I can't become my dad, especially with
right.
And I think that we're going to see that the Wasteland forces her to make some decisions that he would make. And that's going to be part of the compromise and part of her evolution is in the arc. I think that's what they're setting up there. The ugly, all the exploding heads. Oh, so many exploding heads this episode. That and flea soup is the ugly. Yeah. Flea the exploding heads, I was like, I've seen John Carpenter movies, fine. The flea soup made me go, oh God, it actually made me rear back. So that was
fleas jumping in it or something.
That was
the one scene with that guy that had the message or whatever was creepy too.
Absolutely. That was the flea soup lady's son that Hank had kidnapped.
Yep. Yeah, no, the flea soup wasn't too bad, and then the lady went right in the soup, and I was like, nope, that's it for me.
Need to get some food.
And done.
All right.
Yep.
I have to go. I got to get my dog to the vet, so I'm gonna
awesome. Yeah, I actually have to bounce too, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. So
we'll call this a good one. It's been about an hour here. It's noontime here in the West Coast. If I had to give a quick good, bad, and the ugly, ugly would be the Lucy regression scene, kind of in that first opening scene. Not even that. No, that's the ugly. The bad is the way they treated Novak, and the good would be the attention.
And what they did to our boys, the Great Cons. Yeah, I think that was the bad too. Yeah, 100%.
That didn't make sense to me. The good though is just that attention to detail for everything, because those just
100%.
So damn.
They have the visual vocabulary, but the Great Cons they didn't have that attention to detail with the story and what they mean in the. But then again, they provide, that the Courier's experience with the Great Cons could be completely different than Cooper or the Ghoul and Lucy's.
Very much so.
The Ghoul and Lucy don't necessarily have the weight of that context and history there. So
that's super true.
Yeah.
God, I'm excited for next week.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Well, let's come on down to the Hobgoblin at midnight and we'll watch it when it drops. All right.
That might be a thing.
Yeah, we'll do it live from the theater.
Yeah, and we can do it from the studio here, whatever we're feeling.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah. All that being said, we will see you again Sunday morning for Sci-Fi Sundays. If you're a Farscape, a Patreon member, we'll see you for Farscape on a Monday. I think that's kind of all we got for you for a little bit till we jump back into some more Fallout. You might see an Avatar video or two pop up, but we'll probably do an Avatar theme someday if I had to guess. All that being said, this has been the Radical Wasteland podcast.
Yep. All right.
Thank y'all.
Wastelanders, stay frosty. We'll see you Wednesday.
Adios.